What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs. Excuse me, by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes of potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely incredible as a collector's rare. Yes, it is in a top loader. Yes, it is in a penny sleeve because I'm going to be getting this graded at some point down the road. but with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because literally over 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It'll also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is basically today's video. But the question of the day is this: among the card as it sits now, what are your guys' predictions for WWE Clash at the Castle, Glasgow, Scotland? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, that is exactly what we are going to be talking about today, are my predictions for Clash at the Castle 2024. Now, the last time we had Clash at the Castle, it was in Cardiff, Wales, a couple of years ago, and the card from back then was pretty loaded, to say the very least. I mean, we had Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. We had Damage Control versus the team of Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and of course, none other than Bianca Belair. We had Seth freaking Rollins versus Matt Riddle. We had some banger matches. We even also had Gunther versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. And the title is being defended once again at Clash at the Castle. So this is going to be one hell of a fight. One hell of a PLE. 5 matches, 5 titles being defended. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get straight into it. Kicking things off, we've got the triple threat for the women's tag team titles between the champions Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Of course, to the challengers Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, and of course Scotland's own Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, known as the Unholy Union. And honestly, there's a lot at stake, and there is quite a bit to unpack with this triple threat. One of the big things that needs to be unpacked is how Shayna Baszler is going to be able to be, able to maintain her composure in this match after what happened this past Sunday at Battleground, where she got knocked out cold by Lola Vice in NXT Underground. That's the big question. Is she going to be at 100%? Her knee's fucked up. She has probably excuse me. She probably has an even bigger headache than she did on Sunday, and essentially Zoe Stark has to pretty much do all the work for the team, which, in my opinion, don't get me wrong. Stark and Shayna definitely deserved another shot at the tag team titles, but because that Shayna Baszler is going to be going into this match not at 100%, one has to argue that one could argue that Zoe Stark might just end up having to do all the work and just leave Shayna, holding that tag rope and just say, you know what, I got this. I can do it. And of course too, with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they've got home field advantage. So both Stark and Baszler and the women's tag team champions are going to potentially get booed out of the building, which leaves Fire and Dawn the advantage going into this match. And another thing too, this is actually their first PLE, I believe the first time, I think their first PLE, since being a part of the main roster, actually. If my memory serves right, this is actually their first PLE. Give me a second, let me look back. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I believe this is their very first PLE since joining the main roster a little over a year, like couple of years ago, if I remember correctly. So it's been quite some time, and it bugs me because both Dawn and Fire are such incredible talent. They have such a pedigree that they've literally traveled all over the world. They've won championships everywhere they've been, but yet now that they're on the main roster, one could argue that that there is going to be a massive chip on the shoulders of both Dawn and Fire, and they may end up having to. They're definitely gonna have their work cut out for them. Same thing with the women's tag team champions. Obviously, yes, Jade and Bianca, they gelled so well at WrestleMania on night one. Was it night one? Yeah. On night one, where we saw both tag team champions along with Naomi defeat Damage Control's Dakota Kai and the Kabuki Warriors. And that was what gave Jade and Bianca the shot at the women's tag team titles at Backlash in Lyon, France, and they've held the titles ever since. The question becomes, with this much pressure, can they really coexist? Can they fight a common enemy, or will the egos get in the way and they turn on one another? That right there is one of the biggest questions that has to be answered heading into this Saturday. And honestly, again, under Triple Threat rules, no countouts and no DQ. Practically anything can happen. So for all we know, we could see Bianca Belair turn her back on Jade Cargill if they were to lose those tag team titles. Is it possible? Absolutely. Can it really happen? Only time will tell. But I will say this: this is going to be a big matchup, because I believe this one, the WWE Women's title and the World Heavyweight title, all feature Scottish challengers, which is going to be interesting to say the very least. But if I had to make a bold prediction, as crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna have to go with Fire and Dawn. I feel like they're gonna be the dark horses going into this match, and if they become tag team champions, I don't think anybody's gonna end up taking the titles off of them. But then again, the women's tag team champions, they've always been able to persevere. So if I had to pick a dark horse, it definitely is going to be Fire and Dawn. But my true prediction is definitely going to be Jade and Bianca. I feel like they're going to end up retaining the tag team titles. And knowing Stark and Baszler, if they don't get involved in the decision, then they're going to just go up to Adam Pearce and be like, and just bitch and complain, be like, hey, we weren't involved. We deserve another rematch. Which is typical heel bullshit, if you ask me. But we now move into the WWE title match between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, the champion, and of course the phenomenal AJ Styles, where the only way to win is to make your opponent utter the words, I quit. This is interesting because you look at Backlash. Backlash main event, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles was a banger. That was an easy 5-star instant classic. And what's crazy is that we saw AJ Styles in the light blue suit, which begged the question, what's AJ Styles thinking? Because of the fact that his contract with WWE was set to expire later on this year, and AJ said, I don't have time. I don't have much time left. So it got us thinking, what's happening next? Well, we saw the suit and we immediately knew. Yep, he's doing the Mark Henry. He's doing the Mark Henry. Calling out the WWE champion and then just beating the holy hell out of him. And yeah, that's what happened. And now we have this. This is interesting because obviously now, we now know that Michin next Tuesday on NXT is going to challenge Kalani Jordan for the NXT Women's North American title. And then of course, too, we also have Gallows and Anderson still in NXT, chasing after the NXT Tag Team title. So one could argue that we might end up seeing all the members of the OC helping AJ Styles make Cody say I quit. But the thing is that Cody's one of those guys that would never utter the words I quit. Never. AJ Styles, on the other hand, is a different story. And that's where all of this, and that's where this bugs me, because when you look at the rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, you think of John Cena and The Rock. Think back of what happened at WrestleMania 28. John Cena lost. Yeah, sure. He might have had a long and arduous journey to try and get back into the WrestleMania main event the next year, but it was well worth it. He ends up winning Money in the Bank. Yeah, he sure he might have lost the Money in the Bank briefcase, but he had a second opportunity at Money in the Bank, and we all know what happened there. He ends up winning the Royal Rumble, and then he goes to WrestleMania and finally becomes WWE Champion. The very next night, we saw Ryback attack John Cena, which is what led to both Cena and Ryback having some incredible matchups, and one of them was I think was a last man standing match, and that's where this lies, because this This story, if you will, is similar to John Cena's. Only difference is that after the Ryback story closed up, John Cena had no choice but to turn his attention to Mark Henry. And and Mark Henry ended up staying with WWE for quite some time, and that's where this comes into play. AJ Styles is doing the same thing that Mark Henry did, but this time it's an I Quit match. The question becomes, can AJ Styles make Cody say I quit? I don't think so. I think, in my opinion, don't get it twisted, I'm a huge OC fan. Don't get me wrong on that. But this story is so identical to John Cena's run as WWE Champion back in 2013. It gets me wondering, maybe it's going to be Cody Rhodes retaining the title against AJ Styles. And in my opinion, I think that's what's going to end up happening. So my money is on Cody Rhodes based on that. Is it possible that AJ Styles could make Cody say I quit? 100%. It's definitely possible, but it's all up to how AJ Styles approaches it. Whereas opposed to Cody, he's just going to do whatever the hell it takes. And knowing Cody, he's going to do just that. But next up, we've got the Intercontinental title on the line. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, a rematch from Montreal, actually, a week after WrestleMania. And what's interesting, I think about a week or two after WrestleMania, where Sami Zayn defeated Chad Gable, but right when Sami Zayn was embracing his wife, Chad Gable literally took Sami Zayn out of the arms of his own wife and hit him with a German suplex, which obviously led to all the members of the Alpha Academy thinking, why? Why is Chad Gable doing this? Why is he so obsessed with the Intercontinental title? And the reason lies within, it mainly lies within NXT. Think about this. Chad's former tag team partner Jason Jordan, who's now a backstage producer, was actually a single star and didn't have a whole lot of success. But it wasn't until I believe the Dusty Cup, yeah, the first ever Dusty Cup tournament where they gelled pretty well, and it got the fans thinking, what if this team worked? It worked. American Alpha was born, and they not only did they go on to win the NXT tag team titles, but they also went on to win the SmackDown tag team titles, now known as the WWE tag team titles, from out of the hands of the Wyatt family of all people, the hands of the Wyatt family, if you could believe it. And just from that point forward, up until I want to say the last year, the last several years, Chad Gable was more of a tag team person. I mean, he was with Jason Jordan. He was with Bobby Roode. He was with, oh my God, he had some crazy success as a tag team as a tag team competitor. But once Baron Corbin, became king and he called Chad Gable Shorty G, that was when everything went downhill. And then, obviously, we all know what happened there. Alpha Academy, was born, and now it's almost as if Chad Gable doesn't want Alpha Academy anymore. He wants them to give him what he's deserved, which is obviously the the Intercontinental title. And honestly, Sami Zayn is gonna have a lot to deal with, because let's say Alpha Academy does get involved. Let's say that. Not only does Sami have to deal with Chad Gable, he has to deal with Maxine, Akira Tozawa, and Otis. Especially Otis, because Otis was always there. Because Chad Gable was always there for Otis when the moment he lost Money in the Bank, his old friend Tucker, and of course his Peach. And of course, we all know who I'm talking about by his Peach. We know. If you know, you know. And Chad basically saved him, but recently Chad's just been quite the fucking asshole, to say the very least. And that right there is an understatement, because Chad Gable has just become nothing more than a narcissistic prick. And honestly, I think all the members of the Alpha Academy are starting to see it. But if you guys had seen the backstage interviews and the backstage segments, then you guys will know that Chad Gable has been talking to literally all the members of Diamond Mine, the Creed brothers, and Ivy Nile. So it begs the question: is Chad Gable gonna ditch Alpha Academy for Diamond Mine? That right there is a big question, and honestly, it's possible, but we don't really know. And the thing is that Sami Zayn is gonna have a lot of work to deal with, that involves Chad Gable, i.e., again, as I mentioned, the Alpha Academy, and potentially Diamond Mine if they get involved, which I doubt, but only time will tell. But there's a reason why Sami Zayn was always called the underdog from the underground. Is because he was always the type of guy to persevere and take on all comers and win against all odds. Against all odds, fight the good fight. And there was a reason why he's known as the master strategist, because he is always so methodical, in the ring. And it's almost as if with this, Chad believes that he's playing chess and Sami's playing checkers, when in reality, in my opinion, I feel like it's gonna be the other way around come Saturday. But in my opinion, if Chad Gable gets his way and Alpha Academy ends up turning heel, Chad Gable's gonna win, no doubt about it. But knowing Otis, I don't know. Otis might help Chad Gable win, but Sami Zayn has to win no matter what, because if Chad Gable becomes champion, there's no telling what the hell he's gonna do moving forward. But my money is on Sami Zayn. I feel like Sami has more to prove as Intercontinental Champion than Chad Gable does as the challenger, if that makes sense. But next up, we've got the WWE Women's title between Bayley and Piper Niven. And Bayley brought up something that, or actually rather, Piper brought something up that actually made a lot of sense. And it was the fact that, while Bayley was in the Performance Center, in NXT, giving out hugs and wristbands and all that, waving her arms, with the, with her old trademark, her former trademark, which was the Bayley Buddies. Piper was traveling all over the world, all over Europe, the UK, Japan, all over the world, winning championships left and right. In fact, get out the iPhone. I believe Piper has actually won about 16 championships. Here we are, Piper Niven. let's see. Championships and accomplishments. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. She's won 16. I was right. I was right. 16 championships all over the world, and 3 of them were with WWE. Think of Piper's championship runs. Alpha Omega Wrestling, AOW Women's Champion. Association Victorious de Catch. I'm like butchering it, so I apologize. ABC Women's Champion. Fierce Females Champion. ICW Insane Championship Wrestling. Women's Champion twice, funny enough. Preston City Wrestling PCW Women's Champion. Pro Wrestling Eve. Pro Wrestling Eve Championship and International Championship. Scottish Wrestling Entertainment SWE Future Division Champion. Let's see here. World of Sport Wrestling at WOS Women's Champion. Worldwide Wrestling League W3L Women's Champion. World Wonder Ring Stardom. Artist of Stardom Champion, which is basically like a trio tag team title, I guess. And then of course, Women's Tag Team Champion and a 2-time 24/7 champion. So think about that. And when you look at Bayley, and her title accomplishments, BBC Love Letter to Wrestling Champion, 1-time and inaugural with Seth Rollins, which I believe it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be some sort of like mixed tag team title, I guess, or something like that. Busted Open Radio Tag Team of the Year 2020 with Sasha Banks. Now I believe Mercedes Moné. I believe. CBS Sports Tag Team of the Year 2020, obviously with Sasha. Inside the Ropes Magazine Female Wrestler of the Year 2020. Pro Wrestling Illustrated Feud of the Year 2020 against Sasha Banks. Inspirational Wrestler of the Year 2015 and 16. Match of the Year 2015 against Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver Respect. Tag Team of the Year 2020 with Sasha Banks. Get this, ranked number 1 of the top 100 singles wrestlers in the PWA Women's 100 in 2020. Ranked number 1, which is incredible. Ranked number 3 in the top 50 tag teams in 2020 with Sasha. Rolling Stone NXT Match of the Year 2015 against Sasha at TakeOver Brooklyn. Title Feud of the Year 2015 against Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's title. And then just going down the line to WWE. Excuse me. 2-time Raw Women's Champion, or I guess 2-time WWE Women's Champion. Originally it was the Raw Women's title. Now it's the WWE Women's title. 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. 1-time NXT Women's Champion. 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion. Both with Sasha Banks. 2019 Money in the Bank winner. 2024 Royal Rumble winner. First Women's Triple Crown Champion. First Women's Grand Slam Champion. And then 2-time NXT Year-End Award winner for Female Competitor of the Year 2015. Match of the Year 2015 against Sasha Banks at TakeOver Brooklyn. Ranked number 10 of the top 50 greatest female superstars of all time 2021. And 2-time Slammy Award winner for Double Cross of the Year 2020. And of course for Social Media Superstar of the Year 2020. And then Bumpy Award for Tag Team of the Half Year and Social Superstar of the Half Year as well. So she's had a lot of success in WWE, where as opposed to Piper, she's had more success all over the world. And it begs the question, who has the advantage? Is it Bayley or is it Piper? And the funny thing is, everybody all over the world loves Bayley, but Scotland loves Piper. So it's going to be interesting to see who they're going to cheer for the most. But knowing Piper Niven, Chelsea Green's going to get involved, and Piper could end up winning the title, or it can backfire at the end. But my money is on Bayley. I think Bayley's gonna end up winning it, in my honest opinion. But we're now gonna move into what could potentially be the greatest championship match of all time, and it is for the World Heavyweight title, Damian Priest of the Judgment Day, and of course Drew McIntyre. Funny thing is that I'm starting to see Drew McIntyre getting cheered again. It's almost as if that the heel run that he's had is backfiring completely, which I don't doubt that. Honestly, I don't doubt that. But this is very interesting, because the last time, again, as I mentioned, the last time Clash of the Castle took place, it was in Cardiff, and obviously, yes, Drew had home country, had the advantage because it was in his home country, his homeland, if you will. But this is Scotland. This is totally different from Cardiff. This is Drew McIntyre's home country. And everybody is going to be cheering for McIntyre and booing the holy hell out of Damian Priest like it's nothing. And honestly, this is going to be interesting, because even if the Judgment Day did get involved, which we found out on Raw this past Monday, they're barred from ringside. They cannot get involved whatsoever. So that being said, it comes down to, can Damian Priest do it? Can Damian Priest beat Drew McIntyre one-on-one, mano-y-mano? Because if you guys remember, back at Backlash, we saw, with the help of both Finn Balor and JD McDonough, Damian Priest defeated main event Jey Uso. This time, Judgment Day is banned. They cannot get involved. Not Finn, not JD, not Dominic, not even Carlito. No one can get involved. But there's someone else that could. You know who I'm talking about. CM Punk. Obviously, Punk might end up costing Priest the world title, which could then set up a match for SummerSlam between both Drew and Punk, but it could also lead to a triple threat as well, which, again, the possibilities are out there. But honestly, my money is on Drew McIntyre. I think this match, McIntyre needs it. He needs to win at all costs. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It'll also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.